B.I.G. himself, Big Papa. He's a Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. My brother, Trent Brown.
I mean, it was just a different game for real. When I first got in the SEC versus getting in the league, I felt like that was harder. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I don't care about none of the other accolades. When they look at the scouting report, they know they got their hands full when they come to see me.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, turn me up, bro.
First one-on-one rep in OTAs was against Aldon Smith.
What you do to Aldon? What you do to him?
You know, the typical two-handed chest. You know how we do.
Welcome to The Set. This is where I set the tone, set the standard, and bring you on set with some of the biggest names in sports, culture, and in life in general. These stories are real, the conversations are genuine, and the legacies, we set those too. This is The Set. What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Set. I am your host, T.Stead. I'm joined by B.I.G. himself, Big Papa. He's a Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. He was the highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history at one point. Very, very well decorated career, highly successful. My brother, Trent Brown. How you doing, my dog?
I'm doing all right, man. Appreciate you for having me.
Of course, man. Appreciate you taking that time out and joining me. I know you've been busy on your ranch, living the country life. Mm-hmm. What do you like to do, Trent, in your free time? What is it about being out there in that open space with your animals that give you the most peace?
That's it. Just peace. You know what I mean? The peace that some folks get from going on expensive vacations or whatever. That's the peace I get from the piece of heaven that I purchased right up the street. You know what I mean? So that's just what I prefer to do with my free time. And
Trent, what got you into the country life, livestock, having the land? Who was that inspiration?
I say both sides of my family. My dad from southern Georgia, southwest Georgia. My mom from central Texas. And so I grew up around livestock, crops, and I just told myself at a young age that I would always have my little piece of heaven somewhere in Texas. When a God afforded me that opportunity, I jumped on it. And I ain't looked back since. You know, I've jumped into a few other things since just acquiring the land, but as far as like breeding performance horses and cattle and all of that stuff, so man, I'm just having fun with it and trying to introduce my kids to something different outside of just bouncing the ball. You know what I mean? So
that's fire.
You know,
that's fire. Let's talk about a couple properties. I know personally, but you had a property out around Austin, Texas, and now you got a new one in Dallas. What's the size of those properties, if you don't mind sharing?
So the one in Bastrop, which I just closed on last week, I sold it so I could get a bigger one out here in Dallas. That was like 100 acres, but this one I'm about to get is like 150 acres.
I love it. I love it, dog. Man, that's incredible. Incredible for sure. Trent, let's get into more of your story. So you grew up outdoors, livestock, all those things. Where did you grow up? Family dynamic. Talk to me. Take me through a little bit of your upbringing.
So I grew up in Albany, Georgia. My mom and dad met in the military and have been together ever since. My dad's a police officer. My mom was in education field, and it just kind of was reared in that way, raised that way. Took every opportunity I could as a kid to come back to Texas to be around my mom's side of the family, to be around the cows and stuff like that. Like my dad's side has it too, but it's a little bit more distant. It's not like it's close to where, you know what I mean? So I just would always take a liking to it from a very early age, and I knew I wanted my own piece of it. So I'm trying to take it a step further.
That's fire. Mm-hmm. Let's get into your career now. It's starting in college. So you went to Georgia Military College first before going to the University of Florida.
Yeah.
How did you end up at Georgia Military College? What was that experience like?
So I had a few minor mishaps in high school, and I ended up having to go to the JUCO route, but I had offers from pretty much everywhere. as I did in JUCO as well, and it was kind of like a no brainer. I could have went to Hargrave, or I was gonna go to Georgia Military, but going to Hargrave, I wasn't gonna be a placement, and so I felt as though like the prep school route is different from when you're a placement versus just going off of the school wanting you to come there. And I'm not a test taker, so I didn't know how exactly that would work, having to take the SAT, ACT over again.
Hmm.
And so I was just like, man, I'm gonna go ahead. It's closer to home, like an hour and a half versus like 6 hours or 7 hours, wherever Hargrave was at in Virginia. And I was just like, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and start college. Probably the best decision I made in my life. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just like the time management, leadership skills, just experiencing something different. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to your normal JUCO where you just a free for all. You know what I mean? Like
So
it's
this a real life
yeah,
military school,
it's
like
it's
really.
real structure. Like we slept in the barracks. We had to do PT. We had to do formation. We were in uniform
Oh
every day.
man,
We had to march. All that. You know what I mean? They don't have to do it anymore. So I don't know. They're getting off easy now, but I appreciate my experience. And I kind of got a taste of what my parents went through, I guess, when they were both in the military. So I think it was pretty cool. I'm appreciative of it. I'm still friends with all them guys. We like family. Um, I
that's
still
fine.
even talk to my coaches, and so yeah.
What if the NFL wasn't the route, if you know what I mean, you wasn't going on to play in the league, did you really have a career in the military? Like, were you going to pursue the military further?
I don't know about the military, but probably law enforcement or something like that.
Okay. Okay. Man, no, I did not know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
you was like a real life military school. We
yeah,
toothbrush on the floor. Like,
yeah,
dang, wow, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, we used to have
Oh,
white glove inspections, all type of that. You had to be like white glove inspection ready at all times.
damn, wow, crazy. All right, so what was that transition like? You transferred to University of Florida, so you go from 1,500 seats in a stadium at Georgia Military College Stadium to being at Florida with 88,000 plus. What was that transition like? Culture shock, just everything being so grand at Florida.
I don't think it was a culture shock. I think that's just a hard transition going from JUCO to the D1 level, just because like it's everything is so much more large scale. You know what I mean? The numbers are different. The amount of people that the advisors gotta put their hands on, or the number of people that the coaches gotta oversee. You know what I mean? Like it's just so much different. And I think they have less time to really like help people like get over that curve of getting acclimated. You know what I mean? So I think that's what kind of took me the longest. And then I don't think I was really like as mentally mature as you would have. I mean, like I don't know. I wouldn't say I was as mentally mature as I should have been, or I wasn't really just making the decisions I should have made. So my career there really wasn't the best, but I made the most of it with the opportunity in the league. But I'm pretty
Did
sure
you
I probably
did you feel like you got more laxed when you got to Florida
a little
opposed to
bit,
the structure at the military
a
college?
little bit, a little bit. Um, I feel like because nobody really watching you. You know what I mean? Like in
Mhm.
JUCO, like I say, you know, they're not overseeing as many kids, and so you kind of, and also like I would say I wouldn't say college is hard as all. It's just all about if you know what I mean, applying yourself and
By
whatnot.
yourself, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So I say college is probably easier than high school, depending on where you go to high school at. You know, since a lot of folks get passed along. In some places, that ain't the case.
Yeah, true that. True that. What about on the field? What was the difference between the two schools, Georgia Military College and University of Florida, on the field?
I mean, it was just a different game for real. Like you go from playing JUCO ball, which is really still like an extension of high school, to playing the SEC, which is really, I think, when I first got in the SEC versus like getting in the league, I feel like that was harder than the league. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
so I mean, like,
Wow.
we had Dominique Easley, we had like
Yeah.
Dante Fowler. You know what I mean? Like when
Yep.
everybody
Yep.
was
Yep.
still like young and healthy, all that stuff. Like, So I mean, I felt like it was harder. I chose the University of Florida over so many schools just because they weren't really offering me anything. You know what I mean? They offered me opportunities for the best five to play, which I probably didn't really take advantage of my opportunity as I should have. I can say that, you know what I mean?
Go
But
back
I'm
there.
yeah. But I mean like yeah, like I could have took some, you know what I mean, some donations and went us elsewhere.
Little NIL, little free
Yeah.
NIL.
Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't. I felt because I was gonna go to the University of Georgia, but I felt like I needed to do something different and go where I was unfamiliar with people, places, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Just so I could really be who I really needed to be. But everything worked out how it's supposed to.
For sure, for sure, and it's definitely worked for you, brother. So you finish your time at those two colleges, and then you transition over to the draft, and late round draft pick. You ended up being a seventh round pick by the San Francisco 49ers. What was that your draft experience like?
I was disappointed, to be honest with you. I was extremely disappointed, but I was happy for the opportunity, but I was disappointed. I never thought that I would be like a 7th round draft pick. I mean, the opportunity is all that matters, but
Yeah,
I was disappointed, and
but you feel like you could have did your college, like your time in college, differently and changed that projection.
yeah, yeah, easily. But I also like, and I found this out once I got to the 49ers, but like coaches weren't being the most honest about me throughout the process and whatnot, and
Mhm.
so that played a huge role in me going in the 7th round. So I don't know really what you know what I mean. If it was just left up to me in film, because you know some people would say like, oh, he only had like 11 or 12 starts, but hell, these motherfuckers these days that get drafted in the 1st round off of that many starts,
No question.
they'll say, oh, he was overweight, but maybe I was a trendsetter because it's people that get drafted in the 1st round that are my size are bigger these days. You know what
No
I'm
question.
saying?
No
So
question.
like
You definitely set the table for a lot of for sure.
it's so I mean I don't, like it's you know it's the rules change depending on who they're applying it to.
That's a fact.
So
That's a fact.
I've been a victim of that like my whole life honestly. But hey, you know the cream always rise to the top.
Which you have done. Again, my good brother, seventh round pick. Now you enter in year 12. You've highly decorated career, Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowl, all those things. Let's go down this timeline and down memory lane throughout your NFL career. So was with the San Francisco 49ers first, got early buzz, early buzz. You came in right away, balling. Von Miller telling the world how good you are, how he couldn't beat you, and all those things. Really like stamped your name because he's arguably the greatest rusher, one of the greatest rushers of all time. You know what I mean? So instantly stamped. What was that time like in San Francisco? What did you learn, and how did you grow as a rookie?
Um, so my rookie year, like I came in like to OTAs and stuff like starting. But then when the season started, I don't think they really had full trust in me.
Mm.
But then like, you know, injuries happen, next man up, and I went in and balled. And so from then on, like I ain't looked back. Like I've been a 12-year starter. So yeah, like I just it's really all about taking advantage of opportunities. I took advantage of mine and hadn't looked back since.
Who was a coach or a vet in that San Francisco 49er days in your early years that really helped propel your career?
Um, I don't think I really had a real vet ever. You know what I mean? So like
Damn.
I think that's why I kind of go so hard for my young guys now because
So
I want to be the vet that I never had. Like I had some vets that really didn't have the experience. You know what I mean? Like Tiller, we both know Tiller. Like Tiller did his
so
best to, you know what I'm
mhm.
saying, try to lead me and guide me in the right direction, which he did. Like salute to him for that. But I think
Shout
I
out
had a
to you.
coach named Coach Wolf. Um, he stood on the table for me a lot and helped me out a lot, just trying to like encourage me and all that stuff along the way. But like I mean, once I got my first, like gain reps. Like the buzz had already been around the locker room about me. Like, dang, like this young fella cold. You know what I mean? Like 7 round, he was still. You know what I mean? Because my first 1-on-1 rep in OTAs was against Aldon Smith. You know what I mean?
What happened? What happened? Tell a story. Let me hear
I
it.
mean, I don't think he was really doing anything like no real move or anything. He did like a little like just a quick inside move. And me being my size, they probably didn't think me to be able to react or shut down the inside move as quick as I did. And so in the back, I hear Joe Staley like, "Damn, he's good." You know what I mean?
Fire.
And so it kind of
What you
just
do to
went on.
Alden? What you do to Alden? What you do to him?
You know the typical two-handed chest. You know how we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And and so that was kind of it, and then it just went on from there, like
Fire.
continuously rep after rep after rep, just getting better. I think too, going to San Fran because it's a passing league. It's been a passing league, but the run game is going to be the run game. I've continuously gotten better as a run blocker, but going there, I feel like kind of helped me a lot too because that NFC West was pass rush heavy. You know what I mean?
Still is too.
Still is.
Still is
So
too. Yeah.
so so like I mean we had Ahmad Brooks, OG, pass rusher. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We had Aldon Smith. We had who else we have? I can't think of nobody else off the top, but we was just loaded.
Paris Harrelson maybe still been there.
Yeah.
Uh, Justin Smith was there.
Justin Smith was there inside. Like I mean, like we was just loaded. You know what I mean? And so like guys kind of took a liking to me because of my ability and whatnot. I've always kind of stayed out the way and whatnot, but it started there. I got my first game action against the Falcons. They took me out. Then I went back in when we played against Cincinnati, and that was it.
Why they take you out against the Falcons?
Fucked up, straight up, fucked up. It was
Went
a
the
it was
wrong
a
way. MA.
it was a double mud look. Backer came, I kept kicking.
Yep.
But it was one of them things like double mud wasn't a thing in college. So that was foreign language when you get to
For
the
sure.
NFL and
For
you
sure.
like you panicking on this rusher and you don't even you got eyes here but you like so I
For
was
sure.
just you know what I mean?
Been there.
So it is. I fucked up and said next opportunity I got, took advantage of it.
Fire. Fire. All right, let's transition now. So you go from the 49ers to New England Patriots. Massive success. Super Bowl champion. Locking it, like literally was going crazy. You was balling in New England. What was that experience like? Being with Bill Belichick, being with Tom Brady, being with the, you know what I mean? That dynasty, being part of
I
that
felt
dynasty.
like that was the first time I was around like football, like you know what I'm saying,
Damn.
like I was being coached for real, like I wasn't just being left to rely on God given ability and athleticism. They would take my athleticism and like fine tune it to be a football player. You know what I mean? And also too, I feel like playing with Tom that extra. You got a little extra motivation because I think when I first got there, Tom turned 40, 41. So
Mm.
like you're
You
not
gotta
trying to be
protect the old man.
you're not trying to be the reason he got there. He got to go home. You know what I mean? So it's a little extra.
Hey, I know what you mean, boy. Drew was back there 41 years old. Hey, man.
so
For sure.
and then like it's a healthy fear there too. You know what I'm saying? You got Bill.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what I'm
Healthy
saying?
fear, no question. Yep.
It's just almost like how you parent your children. Like it's okay to have a healthy fear. You don't gotta.
Mhm.
They don't gotta be like per se like terrified of you, but they know like if I do this, Pop's gonna get on me. You know what I'm saying?
For
And
sure.
so it's just the building. It's just the energy in the building that was different. You know what I mean? And I didn't feel like I was traded with the best intentions, but it was the best thing that could have ever happened for my career.
Got you. Got you. Being in New England and just from me hearing stories and talking to guys throughout my career, it's not an easy place to play, not an easy place to work.
Hmm.
Belichick tough, the demand is tough. Do you feel like Georgia Military College helped you in that New England Patriots atmosphere?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
crazy.
Cause
That's crazy.
cause cause when you go to JUCO, bro, like it's you don't got no trainers really. Like Georgia military probably the best when it comes to having the facilities or like some type of trainer that probably don't know it all, but they know a little bit of something that may help you. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
now that I know more about the body than like it was just really throwing ice bags on stuff, but we had something in the facility and access to stuff. You know what I mean? So, um, but like we would go full pass two times a day for a whole month. Like it was
Come on, man.
crazy.
Come on, dog.
Real shit. That's crazy.
Crazy.
I couldn't imagine doing that now, but yeah, I think you when you go from San Fran where camp wasn't really like tough like that to going to New England where you getting that soreness that really working your
Mm.
body. You know what I mean? Like
So,
yeah, like it was definitely different. I felt that's what I felt like it was when I was at GMC, and it prepared me in a way, even though it was what 6 years in between that.
hmm,
It prepared me in a way that I could kind of, I guess my body muscle memory.
got it. Got
Yeah.
it. That's dope. That's dope. That's
Hmm.
fire. All right. So you get traded to New England, win a Super Bowl, boom, free agent. You sign the richest contract in NFL history for offensive lineman at the time with the then Oakland Raiders. Y'all transition to the Las Vegas Raiders. How was it being in Oakland compared to being in Vegas?
Bro, like I got a lot of history in the Bay, but it's just like the Bay is terrible, bro. Like
I was
it's,
not expecting you to say that,
it's
dog.
terrible,
I ain't
bro.
never
Like
been out there really.
bro, it's nowhere to live. When it is somewhere, when you do find somewhere, cost of living just crazy, and the place you find might not even be the best. You know what I mean? So like it was definitely it's more place to live like when I was in San Fran, like
Yeah.
Santa Clara, San Jose, all that stuff. But like you get to Oakland, bro, like it's one thing to find somewhere to live, it's another thing to find somewhere safe to live. You know what I'm saying?
Oakland rough like that?
What? So I ended up finding a place. It was like a brand new place in Jack London, which is like close to the water, but then they having like all type of break-ins. Well, they, that's the thing out there. Like they breaking in cars like left and right.
Blip, right? You
Yeah,
got blip,
they're blipping. Yeah, so
blipping. Dumb
bipping,
shit.
bip, something. And then like I moved to another building that had concierge and stuff like that, but then the rent like 10,000 a month.
Dollars?
Yeah,
Bro,
but
what?
check this though, it ain't even no central heating and air conditioning.
All right.
Bruh,
Yeah.
it's
Nah,
crazy.
that's crazy. I'm not a California guy anyway, bro.
Nah.
I feel like California as a whole get over.
Yeah,
It's they I
for
yeah,
no reason.
I'm not a Cali guy. Yeah. Cost of living, taxes. It's just I'll never be.
We don't mesh at all.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. All right. So Vegas. How was that experience as a Raider?
Vegas was cool. It was COVID, but it was cool because
Mhm.
you know what I mean. You get to have a crib. I had a crib that was like I had a whole like 8,000 square foot crib that was $5,000 a month. Gated community on the
Oh,
golf course.
what?
Yeah, like pool, all that. And so like the neighbors was cool. I think I stayed up the street from like Devin Haney and like a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of other people. I think I stayed the neighborhood like McDonough Highlands or something, McDonald's Highlands or something. And it was a real cool neighborhood. And then that was short lived too, because I mean it was COVID. I had I was injured, then I caught COVID, Then I came back from COVID, got the IVs. They almost killed me, and so like it was
Oh, what happened?
IVs before the game. Air got in my veins, and
No
I was in the
way.
hospital for like a week. Yeah,
Man, what was that? What was that experience like? What did that feel like?
I don't know if it felt like a stroke or a heart attack or what, but bro, like I was just I don't know. That was a inexplainable pain. Like I couldn't explain that for no
Damn.
reason. Like my whole like the whole like I don't know, crazy.
Bro, I did not know that at all. What
Yeah,
the I don't feel like that ever came out. Like,
yeah. No, it didn't, and then like yeah, there's a whole bunch that go along with that.
all right, I'll leave it alone. That shit got me shook though, because I was an IV before the game guy.
Yeah, I still am, but I mean, I just when you're doing it with people who know what they're doing and they paying attention, it's all good, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Damn,
I
I
but
just
before that situation though, I didn't know how serious an IV was because it's millions of people, billions of people that get IVs every day. Hell,
yeah,
it's hundreds of thousands of people in probably in your area code getting IVs right now, and they doing
yeah,
just fine. You know what I mean? So I never really thought it was that serious. And then you hear about these cases where people getting air in their veins or people getting stuck in the wrong places, and they having to try hella times to find the vein and all of that
yeah.
stuff. Like, so yeah, bro, like it was crazy
Damn, man, that had to have been a scary experience, especially being in the hospital for a week.
in Cleveland.
Even worse.
I couldn't even go home.
Even worse. Oh man. All right, yeah, I'll leave that alone, Trent. All right, so you in Vegas, not for long though. Short lived in Vegas, right back to New England. What happened in that span, leaving Vegas, that brought you back to New England?
Well, after that whole IV situation, you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like, and how I felt like they handled it, I felt like, man, I need to get out of here. You know what I mean? I need to go
Mm,
back to where I feel like I know they gonna know how to take care of my body and all that stuff. Which, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jimbo, like he always took the best care of me. When it come to any situation, they always took the best care of me. Never had no IV mishaps. Anytime I had any type of injury or ailment, like they took the best care of it. They getting right on top of it. And before I even have me or my agent have to say anything, they sending it off to whoever for the second opinion and all that stuff. So it was never none of the. It was that's you know what I mean, top tier organization when it come to that. It was just personal stuff get involved, and that's how that how that unfolded a couple years ago. I feel as though why I'm not still there or whatever, but
got it.
it is what it is. Like I've been for the longest I've been wanting to play in Texas anyway, and so I'm definitely where I'm supposed to be right now for sure.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get to the Houston Texans. We're gonna get there. One more about New England. What's something about Bill Belichick that we don't know? Most people, the vast majority of people don't know, but you know and you appreciate about him.
Man, Bill just bro like the accountability. And I'm sure like people know that's really all the Patriot way is, just the accountability to one another, to your fellow brother. But people probably don't know that Bill's like what they see in the media and all of that, like that's not really who he is. Like Bill got a personality, you know what I mean? Like he's really funny as
Really,
hell. Yeah, like you'll never know that from how he is with the
I would
media,
never
but
have thought that.
but he cool people sometimes. You know what I mean? But for the most part, like bro, Bill cool as hell. You just gotta be around him to understand. And that's why, you know what I mean, I think that kind of play into the Patriot way too.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
I really have zero experience with, well, very minimal experience with Belichick. The Patriots, when I was with the Saints, we would joint practice for training camp, probably 3 years in a row, 2 or 3 years in a row. And it was after one practice, he came to me, but kind of like walking past at the same time. He said, "You're impressive." That was it. He
It
kept
be
walking.
like
He
that.
didn't even look back. Just walk. He just like walk past me. Said, "You're impressive." Kept going. Like I couldn't even be like, "Dang, thanks, Cole. Appreciate it." You Bill Belichick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, he
Just
like that. He like that little stare face with it, bro. I to that last year, bro, I didn't get no compliments from Bill, bro. Real shit. And then if it's time to like how you get game balls and all that stuff in the team meeting after the game and all that stuff. Like, bro, that last year I was there, like the coaches vote on it, I guess, and so like the coaches had voted. I had played like a perfect game. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that year I had graded out like the highest offensive lineman like multiple weeks,
for sure.
and so like he talked to me before the game, before the meeting started. He was like, "This is the best you've ever looked." Like, you know how he talked. You heard
Yeah,
that? Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of low to, it's kind of a whisper, but it's not a whisper. Only
For
y'all
sure.
two know what was being said. And so he was like, "This is the best you ever looked." And so I play that conversation back in my mind over and over to this day because I'm like, shit, I should have told it like, shit, well, pay me then. But like,
Oh,
but like,
that was your moment
um,
right there.
yeah. I mean, we ended up like getting something done, but I feel like it could have been something long term. You know what I mean? Instead of just a 1 year, and then like, yeah, shit just started going downhill from there. You know what I'm saying? I got injured, and yeah, it just went
Yeah,
downhill from there.
yeah.
But yeah, his personality, bro.
Damn, I would not have considered Bill Belichick a funny guy. That is yet to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Cincinnati
Mm-hmm.
signed with Cincinnati. Um, y'all had a massive offensive line out there, massive. But being there, starting at right tackle, you go down with a significant injury. Significant. I remember watching me and Adam Malik, both of our physical therapists. We're in Miami because he would come down and we were
Mm-hmm.
working. I think y'all was playing Monday night or something like that.
Yep.
Me and we watching. We just up watching the game and we both saw it, bro. We didn't even finish our session. We didn't even finish the session, bro. Like just seeing you go down, it was
Sick.
terrible,
Yeah.
sick, sick. So your time in Cincinnati was really just that. You didn't have much time outside of that. So you had an injury. For you to respond in year 11, to come back, sign a deal with Houston Texans in the offseason, but to come back on the field and play the way that you played, how, bro? How?
Bro, that's God, bro. I mean, Adam too, but God for real.
Seriously.
And not to say that my shit wasn't still like you know how it is coming back from a knee injury, bro. That first year, like some days that shit really just don't feel good, and it ain't
Facts.
no helping it at all. And
Facts.
so it was a couple games, bro, where I really was just toughing through. And now it feel normal, but like it was some games where it just wasn't feeling good at all. But you just gotta in the league, you gotta suck it up and just go for what you know. You know what I mean? And thank God, but that's the only way I got through God, bro. And just the mental fortitude to make it
Real.
happen.
That's real. That's real. But the level, like you didn't play like somebody coming back from injury, bro. Listen, Trent, I watched you in the playoffs against the Steelers. Like, dog, they had to put an alert out for TJ Watt. Like, we looking for him, bro. Impressive, Trent.
Appreciate
You
it.
from start to finish. That was one of the best performances I've seen in years.
Appreciate it.
In a one-on-one standpoint, with an all-time great.
Hmm.
What was that matchup like? Talk me through your preparation for TJ Watt in the playoffs, all that.
Well, we train together, so we kind of get the mental. You know what I mean? Like, we laugh and joke and play, but when it's time to work though, like my mind is different. You know what I mean? And so, like you just I love these kind of matchups too, because I know I'm an underdog and people still view me that way, even though I've done what I've done in my career. People don't give me my just due ever, really. I consider myself one of the best, but they'll never tell you that. But I get up for these kind of matchups just to show people that I am who I am, and I show myself that I am who I am. You know what I mean? Because really, I had missed like 2 3 weeks before we even played
Yep.
TJ Watt.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? And so I just you the build up, and then like that whole week, like the coaches challenge you and this, that, and the third. I love being challenged. You know what I mean? I'm gonna step up to the plate every time.
Every
You know what I
time.
mean? And so I know he probably thinking like, oh, he can't do nothing with me, blah blah blah. I don't do no talking. I don't do none of that. I just smile and play ball. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
my intentions was to go out there. I knew we were gonna be the only show in town, and put the world on notice that my career far from over. You know what I
No, it
mean?
was dominant, bro. Dominant from start to finish, bro.
Straight up,
Dominant.
straight
One
up,
on one.
one
I
on
loved
one.
it. I loved it. I did. I loved it. What can we expect? 2026. Trent Brown, Houston Texans. How you feeling? What you setting out to do this year?
Man, I pick up where I left off and get better. Only be better. You know what I
For sure.
mean? I know so many people are always counting me out, but I'm just put them on notice again. My career far from over. It's gonna be over when I say it's over. I got to go out on my terms. You know what I mean? And that
You know I love that.
my whole career has gone that way, and so I'm just gonna continue that trajectory. And when it's all said and done, as long as I got the respect of my peers, bro, I don't care about none of the other accolades. You know what I mean? Because Sunday in, Sunday out, bro. Whoever, when they look at the scout report on Monday or Wednesday, whatever day they look at it, they know they got their hands full when they come to see
For
me.
sure. Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Hey, yeah, turn me up, bro. Yeah, that shit. Hey, that get me excited, dog. Love it. Love it. All right, let me ask you about some of your teammates now. You got a very very talented team, a lot of notable players over there. I have to start with the quarterback. He's had his ups so far in his young career, and he's had his downs as well. Playoffs was definitely a tough moment and learning experience for CJ Stroud. Can you talk to me about him, his progression, his development, and what we can expect from CJ Stroud moving forward?
I expect CJ to get better, bro. I think people are quick. People be so quick to throw people away that they forget what you've done for them. You know what I mean?
Quick.
To even like the build up, you know what I mean? And so I expect CJ to get better, bro. I think CJ is gonna come in and be even more of a leader, better leader than he's been. I think his approach will be different. Me and CJ had a discussion probably about a month and a half ago, and talked about the season and what he felt that I felt that he could be better at. And so
Hmm.
I
I love that.
think this offseason is a little different for him, and I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people, bro. I think people thinks that he might be down in the dumps, or they might be down in the dumps on him. But I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people, and I don't even think it's gonna be a surprise. I think he's just gonna be a return to the pro that he is. And I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to it.
Love it. Love it. You guys have had a lot of activity on the O line. Some guys leaving the building. Titus Howard out of the building. Larry Tunsil through trade the year before. What's the plan up front? Who are you excited about? Any young guys that we should know about?
Um, I'm really not. I mean, we added some great more veteran presence into the room. Wyatt Teller, um,
Nice, for sure,
huge addition.
for
Um,
sure.
I think I think that addition, along with what we had, and him playing aside, probably the best rookie tackle I've seen in a long time since myself, Ariante Ursery, bro.
Yeah, like
Ariante
that,
Ursery, bro.
like that.
Bro, I'm a fan of that young fella, bro.
I
Real
gotta,
talk.
I gotta go watch
I'm
some
a,
more.
I'm a fan of that young fella, bro. Real talk. And
Fire.
he don't care, but he don't care about what nothing say. He just hoop, bro. And that's what like you can't let these people we talk about it all the time. You can't let these folks turn you into a robot, bro. You just got to play your game, take the meat to lead the bone, bro. If they coaching whatever they coaching, if you feel like you got add it to your game, do that. If not, it ain't for you. Continue to do what done got you to this point, but just get better at it, bro. Bro, he really huge fan. I think Wyatt playing beside him, or I don't know what the rotation gonna look like or whatever, but I would
Yeah.
assume him being a left guard, right? I would assume that's where he would be, and I think that's gonna be, bro. Like, I think you
Yeah.
could expect to see him like really take another step in year two. Um, then we signed back Ed Ingram. Had a huge year last year. I only expected him to get better as well. And I think, bro, I think we're really gonna have just build upon what we had last year. I mean, I know we were viewed as the weak link on the team in that room, but I mean, we set a franchise record for like the fourth lowest amount of sacks ever allowed after being given up the most. I don't know. I believe the most in the league the last couple of years or so. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
year before. So I think we'll continue to grow, and the cohesiveness will get better. Especially, you know, what I mean, we got Cole Popovich from that Patriots tree, so we gel well. We're of the same mindset, same play style. We love, you know, what I mean. So I think it's gonna be great, bro.
That's fire. That's
Yeah.
fire. The other side of the ball, a couple guys that we all know for their dominance. Daniil Hunter,
Yeah.
Will Anderson Jr. Are these two the best tandem in the NFL right now, and or the best tandem you've ever seen together?
Hands down. Bet
Hands
ever.
down.
Yeah. I mean, like, can you name one better?
Uh,
You
I
played
have.
you played against them both? You played against the Texans?
I never played against Will.
Okay.
I played against Daniil a lot.
hmm
I never played against Will.
I personally think Daniil don't get another guy. I don't feel like gets his just due.
Not enough. Not enough. No.
Um, Will, I mean, of course, being from Bama, being a first rounder, but bro, he is as advertised.
Yeah.
Real talk, he is as advertised, bro. Great human being too, bro.
Really.
Yeah,
That's
both of
fire.
them, great human beings.
That's fire. That's fire. Yeah. No. That D line, that defense y'all got as a whole, insane. But that D line, man, the way that even the interior guys too, Sheldon Rankins still playing at a high level. He's
hmm
been playing at, and Mario Edwards Jr. and like it's Danico Autry dogs up
hmm
front. What are those battles like in camp and in practice against them guys?
Well, so you know, I didn't participate in camp last year,
Yeah,
but
'cause you had
I mean, but the group is the group. You said the names, and we all know what's, you know what I mean. Like them boys, they coming, and I think they got the coach that ran the coach the head defensive line coaches, bro. Like you don't never really hear him. Like all you hear is him just like pushing them boys to be great, like coaching the hell out of them. I think, bro, like I think that has something to do with it, aside from the natural ability that them guys have and just the mindset that they have. But I think attitude also reflects leadership, and so they got the coach in the room to help push them guys, you know what I'm saying, to another level.
for
And
sure.
bro, like really, literally any given play, man, really every play, them boys in that backfield and they
No
making
lie.
plays. It's real talk. So
Dominant.
like, I mean, like when you practice against that on a daily basis, bro, like you don't have a choice but to be better. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And so I think also that probably plays a part in how I was able to show up this year. You know what I mean? Just the competition day in and day out.
for
And you
sure.
know,
That's
I
real.
you know what I mean? Like it was a different experience for me. Like I started the season on practice squad. I ain't never did that before. And to be able to humble myself in year 11 and do that, you know what I mean? And not get down or be like, man, forget it, I'm about to retire. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it played a role because I was going against them boys every day, every play. You know what I mean? For like I don't even know what week I started playing, but like 8 weeks almost. I think I was going against them every day, every play.
Yeah. So you get in the game, ain't nobody better than these two. So
None.
that's hard. That's hard. As great as that defense is, who would be one person, Trent, that you would nominate as truly like the heartbeat of that defense, the energy, the nucleus of it?
Aziz.
I figured you'd go there.
Aziz.
I figured you'd go
Uh,
there.
like he not yeah, he bring the attitude. He play how he play the game how it's supposed to be played. He always in the right spots. I mean, he not the most vocal person, but on game day he a different person, bro.
Wow. Wow.
So
And it's so
I think
many, it's so
Aziz.
much talent over there too with Derek
Hmm.
Stingley. The secondary's crazy.
Hmm.
I love the safety number 5, I believe. I can't think of his name. I think
Petrie,
Jalen Petrie.
Jay Petrie,
He a
5
dog, bro. A
dog.
dog.
Yeah,
I love how he played the game.
and he one of them guys that's not vocal, bro. He just show up and go to work, bro.
Man, I can see that.
Him and Steen don't say a word. Honestly,
Wow.
they barely even talk. You know what I'm saying? They just show up and play ball.
And lock shit up. All right, I got one more for you about your squad. D'Amico Ryans. What is it about him? His energy. I know you talked about him on the defensive side and he getting them guys going, but as a head coach, as a leader, is he the guy that can get this team across the finish line to the Super Bowl? Because you've done
I
there,
really,
you've been there, you've seen it. You know what I mean? Like, and I strongly believe in him. I'm a fan of D'Amico Ryans, but how strongly do you feel about him as a head coach?
bro. You know, last offseason when we first started communicating about me coming to the Texans or signing with the Texans, bro, I told him that I was a fan from afar, and I'll be glad to go to war with him. You know what I mean? I do think he's the coach to get us to the finish line, bro. The energy, the way he shows up to work every day. You know what I mean? The accountability, he holds everybody accountable. It don't look like Bill Belichick, but he holds everybody accountable. And from coaches on down, you know what I mean? Like nobody is above reprimanding. And so I think without a doubt, bro, he's the man for the job. You know what I mean? Like hell, he even getting drills, like offensive drills. He getting in, like, you know what I mean? You could do a screen drill, you do stuff on air, like he'll get over there and give us a look. And like, bro, he work out every day. He's still in shape. He still look like he can play. You know what I mean? So I think, bro, he
Hmm.
without a doubt, he's the man for the job, bro.
It's fire,
Yeah,
fire. I would love to see him get it done, man.
yeah,
I
real
love his
talk,
energy. I love
real
his
talk.
accountability and
Hmm.
post game. I know, like, no matter what happened, he take it and protect his players to the
Yeah,
highest level. Love it, love it.
yeah.
All right, big dog. Last thing I got for you, Trent. If you could, I know it'd be hard off the top of the brain, but if you could give me 5 the toughest guys you've ever played against, 5 toughest matchups,
Um, Vaughn.
got to be in there.
It's always gonna be number one because that's facts.
Got to be
Um,
there.
you know, it ain't really too many that like give me any problems. I'm gonna say Vaughn for sure. Um,
Give me 3. Give me 3.
uh, Aaron Donald was one. Um,
That man had to go to the D tackles. You probably your shit on the low. You probably on the low, dog. That nigga went to a D
uh,
tackle. I can start throwing out some names.
yeah, come on.
K Mac, Bosa's, um, Cam
I
Jordan.
ain't played against Lil Bosa, but Big
He
Bosa.
different. He different.
Yeah,
Nick different.
from film, he looked like he a little different than his brother. He got more.
Joey, Joey, Joey
Joey more
polished.
finesse. Yeah.
Yeah, he polished, hand time and fire, great bend.
Mm-hmm.
Nick is
A dog.
powerful.
Mm-hmm. Look
And
like
he got the hands and the bend, but dog, he nice.
mm-hmm.
Little brother nice.
I might have to take it back, bro. I might have to take it back to what they call them boys, the Legion of Boom.
You got to go to Michael Bennett and them, Cliff Averill and them.
Yeah. Might have
What
to
you ever had any matchups against Robert Quinn?
yeah. Yeah.
He was
Quinn was a dog, bro. Because it's one of them
stress
where
man.
you really gotta. That's a player where you gotta finish the whole game, bro. Because usually where
Every rep.
usually, where you run somebody around the hoop or whatever, like that's somebody you got to run around the hoop all the way and finish. Keep your hands on him, bro, because he walk on the side of his feet. You know what
Bro.
I'm
No, it
saying?
stressed me out, bro.
Real talk.
Stressed me out. Yeah. No,
Um,
that's crazy that you having so hard of a time coming
I ain't
up
gonna
with
lie,
these
bro.
names.
I think Buddy. When I play against Buddy from the Saints, I can't remember his
Cam,
name. Other
Carl
side.
Granderson.
Yeah,
Carl Granderson.
yeah.
Shout
Slept
out
on.
Grando.
Yeah, slept
Shout out
on.
Grando. Yeah.
Oh, Daniil Hunter, bro.
See, I was about to say that. I was about to go,
Daniil
yeah.
Hunter. We
Yeah.
had already talked about him, but Daniil Hunter, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't gonna lie, he might be because he's 6'6" himself,
For sure. Long
strong as
arms.
hell, long
Long as
arms.
hell.
So like what usually is my strength, it ain't really. It's kind of equalized when going against him.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? So he might be number one.
I can't argue that. I can't argue it. Yeah, I would probably have him on my list too. And I played him a bunch when he was in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll probably have him on my list too. All right, big dog. I appreciate you, man. Go ahead and send me that address to the ranch so I can pull up.
All
You know
right,
what I mean? Check out the
appreciate
spot. All that for
appreciate
sure.
you.
Sure. We'll link
Appreciate
up
you for
soon.
having me, bro. All
Of
right.
course. Of course. Man, such a great conversation with my brother Trent Brown. His story, super unique. His path to the NFL, super unique. Just him and himself. He's always been somebody that I appreciated how he stayed true to himself, was never conformed or transformed by narratives. And people say he would be too big, too slow, or man, he's been dominant. Only thing that has derailed or been a knock against Trent Brown throughout his career is injury. When that man has been on the field, he has been dominant. You see how hard it was for him to find 5 guys in the NFL that challenged him, or to name 3 players. See how hard it was for him to find 3 players that challenged him, like truly challenged him, that he can just pull off the top of his dome as somebody that was a problem or a matchup. So incredible conversation, going from military JUCO to being drafted to the 49ers, winning the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots. Incredible career, incredible path, an incredible guy. That's my brother for sure. Shout out to Trent. Shout out to you, people. Thank you for being here, tuning in to another episode of The Set with your host, T.Stead. Once again, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you all again. See you soon. Peace out.